my spots and knocking them down.
And I'd love to know what you and Marina were discussing there during the dead ball in the third quarter there.
Oh, we was chatting. I told her she couldn't guard me. And she told me I ain't have that many good games. I said, so you think you pressure? Because I'm really pressure. A little back and forth action. It's playoffs, man. We're going to talk a little bit.
Courtney, there were obviously a lot of intense moments early in the game. Seemed like maybe a couple times a fight might happen, but you all seem determined.
Folks ain't fighting, man. It's playoff basketball. Folks ain't fighting.
Well, it seemed like you all were determined to match their aggression early in this game. How did that affect this outcome?
I mean, like you said, we got to match their energy. First game, they was chirping and chatting, so we had to give it back to them. Playoff basketball, man.
Yeah, there's not much more I can add. I mean, I think we weren't happy with how we approached the first game. I think we played okay, enough to only lose by 3. You know, we were in it the entire time, but we knew that we had to take it to another level, and we had to have each other's backs. We got to go out there and fight for each other, and I think we did a good job of that tonight.
There she go. So big dog.
Sorry, I'm late.
Courtney, can you just talk about how you were able to kind of shake off probably a little difficult first half and come through with the way you did in the second? I think you had half the team's points in the third quarter.
Yeah, I think I just was a lot more aggressive. First half, I was being a little passive, kind of, looking more to facilitate. And yeah, I had to turn it up. I realized, we was kind of struggling offensively, so I was getting to my spots and knocking them down.
And I'd love to know what you and Marina were discussing there during the dead ball in the third quarter there.
Oh, we was chatting. I told her she couldn't guard me. And she told me I ain't have that many good games. I said, so you think you pressure? Because I'm really pressure. A little back and forth action. It's playoffs, man. We're going to talk a little bit. We'll be cool again after we done playing.
Coach, can you just talk about the balance of this, especially from the bench that you got tonight on a night when Fee wasn't hitting her shots. She was doing everything else, wasn't hitting her shots, but you were able to still kind of get past this team with the kind of balance that you've kind of shown all year.
Well, we talked about, even before the start of the series, that our bench was going to be important. We talked about that just in general, about playoffs. And, a team that has a bench that shows up and contributes is going to have a big-time advantage because there's so much pressure on the first 5 and the scouting reports, et cetera, and so they need help. And we were able to get that tonight, with each of the 3 that played, contributed in a variety of ways, and it was good to see Chechi back out there. But that getting 16 points off the bench was big, and, like Court said, or whoever just said, Fee did everything else, but just for whatever reason struggled with some of the shots she was getting. It's a hard game, it's physically hard. She'll get more and more comfortable there, and and then we have a collection of players. I just love, obviously Lan, kind of bouncing back, and frankly Courtney bouncing back, from game 1 and recognizing, where they could help us and both ends of the floor. And so, just a collective effort. That's what we do, and I think that's what we saw tonight.
The Sun players are saying the same thing. You guys, this is playoff basketball. There's going to be some hard fouls. There's going to be some talking. There's going to be some, depending on what the refs allow, some pretty, physical action. You have to believe that you have a team that's kind of built to play in that kind of series, don't you?
Yeah, I liked the moments that we had. Courtney driving for a layup. The pressure that they're trying to apply. There's a counter to everything that a defense does. And recognizing in the first quarter we didn't do that as much. I thought we started really finding our way on what was open, and no pass was going to be easy. We did have 10 live ball turnovers, and it's not a space we want to be in. But I think just again, the more we play them, the more we're understanding what's available and off ball screens, on ball screens. I think we had an aggression about us that was necessary when you play these guys, and you have to be physically and mentally tough because they sure are.
for Lan. Shooting 6 of 8 from the field tonight and 3 of 4 from 3, especially coming off of game 1 where it seemed like everyone was struggling from the field. Just how good did that feel to see that number of shots go down and just get that momentum going offensively?
I mean, it's almost a relief, because as a shooter, like, you take hundreds of thousands of shots in your career, and like before the game, I'm knocking down everything in the warm-up, so I know I'm capable of making those shots. So when you see the hard work that you put in pay off, like it's all worth it, and I think like kind of similar with Courtney, like you got to keep shooting your shot to make it. And so I know I'm a 3-point shooter, so when I'm open, I'm going to keep shooting it. And I think I get that confidence from the people around me as well. If I miss a couple, everyone's telling me your next one's going in. And that's the mindset that everyone kind of perpetuates on this team.
Coach, I want to say, I think I remember the last time Courtney's family was courtside. You had made a comment that maybe there was not going to be any more family on courtside. What did Courtney have to do to convince you to let them be courtside again?
She didn't ask me. She just did it. No, of course we want their families here. It's obviously a joke, and I'm thankful that a second half happened. Otherwise, I might have had to step in for the next one.
I'm glad I changed that narrative.
And
I love Pops being courtside,
That's
man.
right. We want Pops.
And Courtney, just what was it like having your mom and dad there, big supporters? They were animated through the whole game. Just what did it feel like playing in front of them in this atmosphere?
Yeah, well, Mom's is at the crib, so she not here, but Pop's sitting courtside. Yeah, man, like I said, I've been struggling a little bit with him here, so I had to try and change that narrative. So hopefully, they hype to see him courtside now.
This is pretty much to all y'all. Just how does it feel to have Maisha out there, banging down low? 14 minutes, she had 7 points, impactful minutes, but she's basically the enforcer on this team. So just how does it feel to have somebody that is going to have your teammates back, but at the same time, make sure that she's still executing at a high level?
I'll let you guys take that.
Maisha, just like you said, brings that physical presence, and when you have someone like that coming off the bench as well, like that's someone you don't want to play against. Like you see her come on the court and you're like like when you've got someone like who you've got coming off the bench, like who is a physical enforcer, but is also like a great player. Like she's a great passer. She rebounds so well. She sets great screens. Like she does the little things really, really well. And we rely on her to come off the bench and, bring that fear, because you can't sleep when our bench comes in. And I think she is a big reason as to why.
So obviously, pretty low scoring first quarter, even first half, and what does that speak to just the two defenses that are going up against each other in this series, and just how aggressive you guys have been playing and preventing anyone from really getting a shot in?
I think the defenses were good, but they weren't that good. We all the shots. I think we were 2 for 19 as the two teams on the floor, and there were some open shots in there. So, yeah, both teams are playing defense, but I think that would be a stretch to say that was all defense that kept it 12-10 in the first quarter. Luckily, we settled in. Obviously, so they, and then we got back to a normal basketball game after the first quarter.
This is for both players. Is there a moment in the game that was super challenging for you, and then how were you able to overcome it?
I ain't gonna lie, the whole game is challenging. But Cheryl keep telling us that's why people cry when they win championships, because it's hard, and it's hard. I ain't gonna lie, but we sticking in there. I think our biggest thing is that we stay together. We never fold. We keep our composure, and that's a testament to this team and who we are as people. So we gotta keep it. We gotta keep it up there, man. Keep it up there.
Cheryl,
Hi, John.
hello.
What the hell are we doing here?
I don't know.
Who let John in?
I don't know.
Who let John in? Good to see you, John.
Good to see you. The Lynx obviously have a long history of playoff success, championships and things. This group itself is newer and building its own legacy, its own tale. Intense games like this, getting in scraps, having each other's back, how much does that do to kind of even further the chemistry and get this group even strengthened for the
It goes a long way, because I believe to be successful, you do have to experience adversity. You have to get through the adversity, go through it, go through the lumps, bumps, all of that, to get to the promised land. It's the only way, because if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. And I think that, they separately have playoff experience, but obviously collectively as a team, this is our first experience together. And I know I was, obviously disappointed we didn't win the first game, but I felt really, really good about this team's ability to bounce back. And I said the great thing about this group is they just have to be themselves. They don't have to be somebody that they're not. And if we keep being ourselves, we can navigate any difficult time, right? They know exactly how to do it. And it comes from different people. There's no one that's carrying a heavy load all the time. It's shared, and it's really special to be around.
Kind of piggybacking off that, you knew that they were going to make some runs, and they
For
did
sure.
make some runs. Alanna answered one with the 3, Courtney, 2
Yeah.
big ones. I mean, can you just talk about the way this team, answered the punches you knew were coming?
Yeah, we've seen that throughout the season. It's kind of something I don't know if they talk about it or not. They take pride in, but they don't get down. I think that's the key. You can't give up big runs, and you got to be able to answer. And this team's been able to do that. We have to manage the end of games better against this team in particular. Understanding in clutch time what's going to be happening, and 3 missed shots, 3 turnovers last 4 minutes. It also happened in Connecticut, where we had a double-figure lead. And so I think the more we're in these spaces together, the more we're going to be able to navigate through the remainder of the series.
Cheryl, how important are Courtney and Maisha in a series like this where you have to match a team like the Suns' aggression early in the game?
Courtney and Maisha?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the first thing she did when she got in was she drove the basket for a layup. And it's different. So it's a different skill set. Lana actually got free a couple times as well. But to have someone to come in that aggressive, Courtney gets so much attention when she has the ball in pick and roll. And it's appropriate that she gets the amount of attention that she does. And so they're not going to let it happen easy. And so her aggression, and I think I shared this before the game, after game 1, Courtney took it pretty hard. And came in the next day, which was yesterday, and watched a little video. She started ideating about, some things that she could do. We asked her, to just get a little more assertive, a little more aggressive, and whatever that looks like is up to Courtney. We told her some things we thought that could be there, but, she had to make her plays. And so I think it's a mindset that she understands that this team desperately needs her, to be the player that she was. And the first half shots didn't go down, but the way she did it in the second half, that aggression. So both Courtney and Maisha obviously are crucial to that aggressive piece for sure.
For Courtney and for Lan, you both have talked, multiple times over the season, just how much you both, mean to each other, and how you came here sort of together in free agency and wanted to stay together after playing in Chicago last year. Courtney, you mentioned getting to do a lot of things in Chicago last year, but not really play playoff basketball. So just getting this chance to play playoff basketball with each other here and win a game in the semifinals and get one step closer to the finals and doing it together, just how rewarding of an experience is that for the two of you, and just to both play so well in the fourth quarter and, close the game together?
This really my dog, for real. Like, for real. And I know what she can do because we was in the trenches, Chicago. So I think, like, her coming here, us being able to do this together, seeing her successful, seeing her get rewarded for her defense, seeing her knock down shots tonight, man, I'm so happy for her. I'm so proud of her. I love seeing her confidence continue to grow and grow. And this really my dog. So she gonna keep going crazy, and we gonna keep doing it together.
It's hard to back up. No, Court's right. I think what we played through last year together makes like what we're doing right now worth it. And I think like when you play with someone for a couple of years and you're able to like go through some hard stuff, like what Cheryl said, like adversity, brings you to success. Like, we went through some adversity and now we're experiencing success, and the fact that we're able to do it together makes it even better. Because, like, you know, we know what we've had to deal with. Like, no one else knows, and we're the only ones, and, you know, we're on the other side, and we've got an experience that we can bring to this team that's unique, and it's so cool that we can enjoy it together. Like, I mean, far out. Like, I remember watching Courtney as a rookie and being like, who is this chick? Like, constantly talking, like,
With the long
mid-range.
hair?
Yeah,
With the
no,
long hair?
I didn't see her with
Yeah.
the long hair, unfortunately. But, like, mid-range game, like, the best I've ever seen. And so the fact that I've been able to get to know her as a person as well as a player, like, I'm so grateful for that opportunity, because, like, she's one of the best. Like, she's pulled me through some stuff that's been really hard for me personally too. And it just, like, it's what you play for, you know, like, to have teammates like this, to be able to win with people like this.
This is to either player. It's kind of fitting both of you are sitting up here. Cheryl, after game one, you know, said, Lan's going to get out of this. She'll be all right. She'll be bounced back. Courtney, Cheryl said, we need Courtney. Just what is it about Coach Reeve that just instills that confidence, and what's that confidence from her mean to you guys?
I mean, Cheryl, the best to ever do it. See what I'm saying? Like, she got the blueprint. So to have somebody like that instill so much confidence, put us in positions to be successful, believe in us the way that she does, I mean, you can't help but to go out there and go crazy in a good way. See what I'm saying? Because she give us the blueprint. She put the time in. She really get to know us. So, you know, when she is on us hard and coaching us hard, we know that it's coming from a good place. We know that it's because she sees that we can be better. So I'm super grateful. I don't know if I tell you enough, Coach, but I'm so grateful for you, because I feel like you put me in such a great place, because I don't know what my future was going to look like. And then I feel like you came along, you and your staff, and y'all really instilled that the dog ain't never go away, but y'all really woke it back up. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you, Coach, for real.
That's a nice talk. Thanks for asking that. This really feels good. Yeah, what else you got?